Just a minute. What are you trying to pull?
Nothing.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Tian. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this look to match my earrings. As you can see, I have these really bold, vibrant earrings, and I wanted to do something to kind of match them. I have a whole bunch from the beauty supply store, so let's get straight to it. So for the first color I'm going to be using, it's going to be black, coming from the James Charles palette. I'm going to take that color and I'm going to start packing it in and around my crease. This is just going to help me build the color or build the shape for the eye look that I want. So for the next color that I'm going to pack on, it's going to be this little burgundy color, still coming from out of the James Charles palette. I'm going to start patting this halfway onto the eyelid and halfway onto the black to create a little bit of a blend. It's going to darken that color up to make more of a purple color, and you'll see it. So yeah, as you can see, it kind of turned that burgundy into a purple. I was fine with that because the next color that I used was a really light blue from the Morphe 35H Hotspot palette. This blue blended with that purple came out super pretty. You're going to see me start patting this very gently on the outside of the eye. I'm not using basically any extra color on the brush at all. I'm just using like light circular motions and back and forth motions to make sure that this is blended out onto that base in the outer corner of the eye. Yeah, so after I have everything pretty much blended, you're going to see me go back and double tap. You always go back and double tap just to boost your pigmentation. Make sure that those colors are equally being seen and loved individually. Okay, so now it's time for the cut crease. Cut it. Hey, so you know, we're using the Vaseline method. I'm just basically using a flat brush, concealer brush, and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to start outlining my crease. This method helps so much when for people who don't have steady hands like me, and want to make sure that they're getting like the perfect cut crease. This is the perfect thing. This actually saved my life so bad. My cut creases used to be so uneven. I still have problems with unevenness, you know, the trials and tribulations, but regardless, it helped me so much. Like, so yeah, I'm using a Q-tip to get all the extra Vaseline off of my eyelid and clean up that shape a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with a pencil brush just to define that black and make sure that it's not too much of it taken off. And that's the good thing about the Vaseline method too. You can always go back in and fix your mistakes. Alright, so now we're cutting the crease. I'm sorry this is a little out of focus, but it should come back to focus. There we go. Anyways, the way I like to cut my crease is to start like in the front and then pull on my product in the middle, and then from there I like to drag the product upward towards the crease, because I don't like to start on from the top down because it's easier for me to mess up and go a little too high. Rather than coming up from the bottom, I can take my time and really put the product exactly where I want it to be. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm using like the very tip of the brush to go in and make sure that that's very precise, and then I'm patting that base into the eyelid. I'm going to use a buffer brush as well to make sure that that product is in the eyelid and not moist. You want it to be tacky.
Later.
Still patting on the eye. Okay, so for the first color for the crease, we're going to use that yellow from the James Charles palette, and I'm just going to pat this about 1/3 or maybe halfway to the center. I'm going to leave a little bit of it in the middle just for that blend when I go to put on the second color. And for that second color, I'm using that same burgundy color from the James Charles palette, except this time you're going to be able to see its full potential. Like, you can see what actual color it is, honey. Like, look at that pretty burgundy, maroonish looking red color. Like, that's so pretty. Final color I'm packing on this dark blue from that 35H Hotspot palette. It's right underneath that light blue that we used, and I'm gonna use a bullet brush, a pointed brush, maybe like a 507 or 506. I can't remember what exact brush this is, but I did use that to kind of blend that burgundy into the blue. And then I'm going to take the back of that flat brush that I used for the yellow to blend the yellow and the burgundy colors together. Then we're gonna line this baby up, and while I was doing this, y'all, my camera cut off. I completely had no idea. I went ahead and put on my lashes, finished my liner and everything before I even realized. Yeah, so when I put my camera back on, I was not feeling these lashes. They was giving me Yzma vibes, okay? They was like super they were like super freaking stringy and pointy. I was not feeling it. Like, I don't know if y'all can see my face, but I was like, anyways, I was like, okay, let me do my face and we'll worry about the lashes later. So for primer, I use Milk Hydrating Primer. I've been using this for a couple weeks now. It works pretty well, not with all foundations, but for the foundation that I'm using, which is Juvias Place, it worked really good. Foundation was Juvias Place foundation in the shade Gabon or Gabon, one of them. Either way, I think that's how you say it. I don't know. I've been a little dry lately, so I've been using Max Prep Fix It Priming Spray. Fix it spray. Y'all know what spray I'm talking about. Just to moisten my face up before I put this foundation on my skin. So then I'm gonna start putting this on. I'm using a beauty blender because with Juvias Place foundation, I found that you have to pat this into the skin. You cannot rub this foundation. It's very full coverage. Like, it's very, very, very full coverage. So you have to pat this into the skin. And any dark marks or hyperpigmentation you have gets deleted with this foundation, okay? Like, what? I have a huge dark mark on my chin. You saw that jank was gone, okay? Gone. So for concealers, we're using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Deep Chestnut. I also did put a little teeny bit of the lighter shade. I will put it in the comments. I forgot what the shade color was, but I'm just putting this on my areas that I want it to be highlighted. And you know how to put a T on my head because my name is Tion, you know, T for Tion, duh. As I was doing this, I didn't think about the fact that I was using majority Juvias Place products. I probably should have just used my Juvias Place concealer. I do have a concealer by them. The shade I use in their concealer is shade 12. So if you're wondering, like, oh, I want to use all my Juvias Place products like she did, then just use the shade 12 in the concealer. That's the shade I use. For contour, I used the Juvias Place foundation sticks in the shade Tunisia. That's what I'm using to contour my face. For setting powders of this look, I used my normal setting powders. I used the shades Honey and Nutmeg and the Fenty setting powders. I did not have that footage on camera. I went ahead and used the yellow on my waterline, and then we used that burgundy color and the blue for the under eye colors. This really brought the smokiness effect to the eye. Like, I was popping after this, for real. I did change the lashes. You'll see me change the lashes and come back with a little bit of highlight as well. And then for the lips, we just did a nice cool nude plump pink lip, and that was the final look, y'all. It came out pretty dope. I'm really super excited, and as you can see, those lashes look way better. I really hope y'all enjoyed this look with me today, and if you did, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. See y'all next time. Bye bye now.